Closer, closer.
Well, hello. My name is Charles Edward Bostwick, and I headed the great sleigh ride rather, of 1856. Now, that time of year, the winter snow had covered the ground all over Medina for, a good 6 weeks solid. And horse-drawn sleigh riding was a great diversion at that time. Now, it's not really known who had the idea for the first sleigh war, but it was known that it began between Akron and Cleveland. Now, the object was to see which community could muster the most four-horse teams. One community would challenge its neighbors, and then they would ride to the host town. Now, the prize... Yes?
Now tell me about the prize?
Oh, sure. Oh, this is my young friend, P.S. Drake. Go ahead.
The prize was a red cotton banner with the man's profile painted on it, and the man's thumb planted on the edge of his nose. And written above it said, "Take me if you can."
That was one sought-after prize. Well, after numerous failed attempts by the Medina team to win, a general meeting of the town was called, resulting in a resolution that Medina must take the flag. I was chosen as marshal of Medina County, and I began collecting all the four-horse teams for the event. Now, in the days before telegraph and telephone were invented, it was really amazing how quickly and how far the news could travel around here. So early on the morning of March 18, 1856, all the four-horse teams gathered here from all over Medina County. Now, as the great sleigh ride began, the mood in this area was very high. 3 brass bands, one from Seville, Wadsworth, and, of course, Medina, played while over 100 people sang and cheered us on our way. P.S., do you remember how you were telling me that, why don't you tell it? Go ahead.
I really wanted to go on the sleigh ride. I was talking about it at school the day before, but my teacher told me I should not take part in such frivolous affairs, to spend time with my studies. So the next day I went to school. Only to find the doors locked and that the principal was on a sleigh on his way to Akron.
I remember hearing about that. Well, as our caravan progressed, the sun came out, and all the ladies on the sleighs suffered such a sunburn that not even sweet cream could soothe. Well, all of that was forgotten as we arrived in Akron. We were greeted by the firing of a brass cannon. We then paraded up North High Street, we toured through North Akron, came back down through South Akron, while the bands continued to play and people sang and cheered. When the results were in, Medina took the flag with 184 qualified four-horse teams. 3 of them ended up being disqualified because there was at least 1 mule in the harness. Anyhow, it was then time for us to turn our sights west and take the prize home. Unfortunately, as the good times continued to roll, the sun continued to blaze and melted the snow. Well, the return trip was not as comfortable, you see, for the revelers ended up walking home while the horses dragged the sleighs through the freshly made mud. However, this event created such intense interest that leading newspapers in the U.S. and in Canada printed a full account of the Great Sleigh Ride of 1856. Why, even the London Times chronicled that event. Let's see, how did they describe that? Oh yes, one of the novelties in the line of amusements that those Western Yankees had originated. Well, some people even wrote songs about the event, and they sang them to existing tunes of the day. P.S., do you remember how this one goes? Cuyahoga's got the whooping cough, and Summit's got the measles. Medina County's got the flag, pop goes the weasel. Well, that is the story of the Great Sleigh Ride of 1856. I thank you for listening to my memories of that stunning event.
Mr. Boswick,
Yes,
maybe we should get going, starting that new sleigh team together.
you know, that's a great idea. I thank you, and good day.